All right. And sound. Boom. Got it. Okay, there we go. Whew. That only took 6 attempts, and I didn't get up and check this at 5 a.m. I did get up and check this at 5 a.m. like a crazy person. Okay, let's try that again. Good morning, everybody. We are here with the amazing Lisa from Burnhill Yarns and Lisa F Designs, who is going to show us all of her beautiful new yarn colors today, what she's working on, 2 bases, because now there's 2 full ranges of color on 2 different bases, which is super exciting because now I look at our merino wall and smile uncontrollably because it is so full of color and life. And that is just great news.
I'm super excited.
Yeah.
Because it's so soft and like everyone can wear it and there's so many colors.
Exactly. So we're going to do this all over again. So let's start with the 8-ply. Then we'll talk about what we're knitting one more time. And then we'll go into the 4-ply. Ta-da. So this is your 8-ply Vespers Merino, which is sourced here on the South Island and spun and dyed here in Christchurch. And you've selected a beautiful color palette. So tell us a little bit about them.
So this is the Vespers 8-ply, and we have 6 beautiful new colours. Yes. So we have started with the evergreen.
I'll let you point this time. So.
The burnt orange.
Yeah.
Candy pop.
Mm-hmm.
And Kobe pink. Dusty sage and soft chambray. So those are the 6 new colours added to the range.
Well, Emily and I are both working with the 4-ply at the moment. I am so close to being done a sample that I thought for sure I would have done today, but life intervened this week. I have to admit, the soft chambray, when it came in, I believe that the exact words I said were, this is the exact like baby blue that I've been hunting for from yarn companies for years, because no one's making these like classic soft colors at the moment. They're just missing. Is that part of like the inspiration behind picking some of these colors, is that they were colors missing from palettes you were looking for?
I try not to look at other people's palettes.
Oh, no, see, that's good.
And pick colors that I like that kind of can go together or can be different little stories in a color palette. So just like, for example, in this range, I've got a little sweater, the little kiddies one, that it's a stripe with a little tiny ferrule on it. So I picked the crunchy pear, the soft chambray, and what was the other colours? The white, and I popped in another colour and it's gone out of my head. But anyway, it's to just be able to have like really cool colours that can go together beautifully. Yes. So.
Well, because now, I should have announced to the audience as we're about to look at the 4-ply colors, now with your expanded range, we have enough colors on merino 4-ply that people could do Marie Wallin jumpers, because between you guys and Wild Earth, there's enough variety now that people can really like grow into a color palette. And personally, it's really important when you're doing that sort of color work, classic Fair Isle, to have those in-between shades, like multiple shades of green, multiple shades of pink, because you need to be able to blend them in the background, right? And that's what I love about the palette that's growing before us, is you've created those stair-stepping shades that are missing from most color palettes, where there's a lot of harsh jumps. Yours are soft and just, like a pink gradient sweater, like, because you could easily just change the color by doing some striping and other stuff. It's so good. And so this is the Eternity 4-ply, which I am currently 100% fixated on, everyone.
So that's the one I'm using.
Yeah, Candy Pop again, which like, ooh, damn.
Shock, I'm using the brightest pink.
Yeah, it does feel like you came for Get Flock directly with the release of these colors. It was like,
pink and green and blue.
Every time that you told us something more, we were like, oh no.
Yeah. So I'm making the tessellated cardigan using the Candy Pop as the main pink, and Big Sky as the spin cycle, and Sunflower as the mohair. It's a bit wild, but
it's amazing.
Yeah, right though.
So we have the 10 colours on the...
10 colours on Eternity, including the one that is going to be the most hotly contested among the staff by far, which is the Dusty Sage on 4-ply. This came out of the box on the 8-ply yesterday, and Emily and I locked eyes, and it is going to be a duel to the death for who starts knitting with this first. So, I mean, you've created a really good problem because, like, you can literally just grab out from the palette sets of colors. Like, that is the classic baby color palette. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can really bring back some older style knits, but make them fresh and modern because you have all these beautiful secondary colors to play with as well. And as you mix and match between them, I'm just finding that the range itself, even at this beginning phase on the 4-ply, is already offering so much. And it's really exciting to see.
It's good to have a dark one as well. Like, quite
Yeah.
often people want like something dark for blankets or
In my original description that I will recopy and paste into this, I described it as yarn perfect for kids of all ages, including
Funny.
Emily and I.
I like how it's like an Easter basket too of like treats.
Yeah, it's so
Topical.
good. It's so good. And so you're working on a jumper right now, or a cardi possibly.
It's a jumper.
It is a jumper. It is gorgeous.
So I'm making out of our Vespers Cinnabon green this
Mhm.
beautiful sweater.
Yeah.
So are you knitting the front and the back at the same time? Is that what's happening?
It's when I'm like, grab my knitting. Where's my knitting? Oh, I'll just start the front because I can't find the back.
I thought I was bad.
I have so many knits on the go,
Mm.
and I have children that are learning to drive. So
Mhm.
if I'm going to have to sit in the car, I'm going
Yeah.
to knit.
Absolutely.
Stress relief.
And try and keep my eye on the road at the same time. Like, what are they
Yeah.
up to?
While driving around Wanaka, which is not the flattest place on the face of the earth, that's for certain. Oh my
You've
goodness.
got lots of tourist drivers, so it's kind of scary. We've had quite a few incidences, but
Mm.
anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of driving on the wrong side of the road. For those of you who aren't from New Zealand, as someone who has acclimated to here, please, you know what, if you're coming to our country, just don't drive. It's okay. Take the bus. They exist. But like we've all seen far too many people. I'm making context with the audience and with all of you driving on the wrong side of the road in a camper van, okay? Like why do we give these people these vans and then they're like drive around on our tiny winding roads on the wrong side? Like
Yes,
We
we've
have to-
come across a lot of that. So.
yeah, we have to work on that as a group.
But it
So
means that my children are good drivers because they learn how to avoid all
Defenses.
these.
so
yeah.
you and
So
I
this is all textured, and
yeah.
we have plain sleeves. It's seamed, and it has just a drop shoulder, so and a balloon sleeve, slight balloon sleeve, which is plain.
Classic.
Yeah.
So is this going to become a pattern or is this a one-off
It's
special?
a pattern,
Ooh.
and it's for my daughter Pieta, who is 16. One of the models, and
Yeah.
and she will.
All of your children have done their duties as well over the years.
And
So
she
important.
she helped design it. I gave her swatches and color choice, and she picked out what she wanted, and we worked out the sleeve and the length and everything. I was going to make it cropped. No, I want it long, she says. So then I had to do more knitting.
Mm.
I mean,
Anyway,
but at least her kidneys will be warm, right, everyone?
yeah, it won't be super cropped with her, but anyway, next another pattern will have that option.
Yes.
So good.
So yeah, so I'm working on a lot of adult
Exciting.
patterns at the moment.
Which
so
is super exciting.
I
As
love the Jackie vest, which is the adult version of the
Vina
vinyl
vest,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is really cute. I must admit, like, I'm so glad to find another designer who's also working flat on adult garments. It can feel a little bit like you're screaming into the void when you're a knit flat person lately. There's been a lot of, shall we say, hate speech against flat knitting. Like, people are just really opposed to sewing a seam this long, apparently, which is mind-boggling to me. I don't know
I
about
just
you.
love how when you sew a seam, how the construction just all comes together.
Yeah, it's
And-
that feeling of it like zipping up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the structure of the seam, which gives the garment a really beautiful structure.
Same.
Should we talk about some of these samples?
Oh yes, so I bought
Yes.
a whole basket full of samples
Yes.
in my.
Oh no,
Yarn.
no one's going to be excited by this.
So
So
this
what's
one
this?
is a blanket, and
Mhm.
I can't remember what it's called.
It's very cute.
What is it called?
This one is just called a blanket.
Is it one of these?
It might be in there, or maybe not. I don't know.
Okay,
Anyway,
that's
we can put a note on the.
Yeah.
anyway.
We'll find it. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
don't worry. We'll go back through and put the names of all the samples in the notes after we do this. Because look, we got here, we're all wearing pants. Let's accept that this was a success.
Anyway, so yeah, that's one of my blankets. I've had that one for about a year. Yeah,
Yeah,
about a
so
year.
is this one is already
maybe-
out as a design.
I think it's called Cinder Blocks, but I'm not 100% sure.
So
I
good.
have quite a number of blankets. So.
You do.
But blankets are very popular.
They
Everyone
are.
loves knitting a beautiful blanket,
Yeah.
and it's nice and nice rhythmic knitting.
It
and you're
is.
not going to have to do seams or
And it's such a beautiful gift,
construction, and you
right?
can just pick it up. Yes, it's a beautiful gift.
Oh, that is so cute.
It's got a little hat somewhere that goes with that.
Oh my
You can see
goodness.
slotted there. There it is on top.
Oh, it's got a pom pom.
I love it. You and I find out, are both pom-pom obsessives when we make them.
Yeah.
Slightly different in scale, because mine tend to be like the size
Yeah.
of like a
A child's
small-
head.
Yeah, they get a good haircut from me when I make them.
Look, if you don't sacrifice a 50-gram ball of yarn to make a pom-pom, what are you even doing?
And then when I get some of my friends knitting away for me, they make pom-poms like I do. So that's just exciting.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
So that one is beautiful. Now, are those buttons from your shop online, or
Yeah,
are they from?
They're all my own buttons that I designed and get made up here in New Zealand.
Perfect. And they go so well with the design on it. Like, it's such a lovely little thing to have that cross pattern repeated in the motif of the colorwork and on the button.
Yeah.
So freaking cute.
Yeah, so that was the plan for that one, was just to be able to use my buttons, but also feature that in the design. So that is a new one that will be coming out in a few weeks
Ooh,
if I have
preview
time, because
season
it's
is
so
starting.
busy. But we've got lots and lots of patterns that are not
This
far
one is
off.
so cute.
So
Oh,
that one
yes.
is called the Blaze Sweater.
That is super cute. So this guy has an all over Aran central cable situation going on with a garter texture sleeve, which is just such a great thing. And you've repeated that garter texture in the body, which is super cute. I love it.
And this is golden ochre. Is
Yep,
that what they call it?
golden ochre.
Yep.
This can be a good test for Emily. We'll see how well she studied this week.
This is silver stars.
Look at her go. She is ready. She is prepped. Oh, God.
So
I
that-
love bubbles.
Bubble-a-palooza.
So what I've done is I have found, we were like rearranging the house, and I found a box of my old patterns. So I have been scanning and producing the vintage patterns, which I've still got quite a number to get up
Yeah.
on the website. But this one is one of the kids' ones. And what I did is it was designed in a 10-ply cotton. So I reworked it into an 8-ply pattern and used our Vespers for that. So I realised that I loved doing bubbles 30 years ago as well.
They're really fun on kids wear too.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
something little. I like the Miller vest with the
Oh,
pom-poms.
yes.
That's not the Miller.
No, the
No.
Blake.
Blake vest, yeah.
I do have a pretty aggressive bobble pattern called the Fletcher hat. I'm there with you on the bobbles.
So this
Oh.
one is a little cutie. That's just a baby
That's so sweet.
matinee jacket, which could be done. The pattern is written in one size in 3-ply and 4-ply. And that is called the Caroline Cardi, and that is named after my mother, who this is her pattern that she had some basic pattern, and then she just transformed it over the years. And I got her to write notes for me, and then I had to decipher her cryptic notes, but I
Right.
knitted it up in the 4-ply. And
It is so beautiful.
it's just beautiful and soft and in our eternity, but that's coming as well. So that one's been a long, long time in the making, but I've got it sampled now, so that's exciting.
So good. Oh, yeah.
So this one isn't too far off coming out because I've just been having that tested.
Look at that lace.
So that, I can't remember what that one's called.
This one's called Name to Come.
Yeah, so
The colour is Raspberry Fields.
It's even got like thread sticking out. So. But yeah, that's Raspberry Fields, and that colour's been really popular.
Mhm.
People have cottoned onto it and gone crazy over it in the last few months.
Well,
so-
it's a really unique color that you don't often get from other places. So
Yeah.
I totally understand why people are so into it. Oh my goodness. Construction across the road, our favorite.
So that is called the Avis? No, Atlas, one of those names.
We're gonna have to get you tagged
At-
to all of
at-
this.
That's the Atlas sweater, and that's another one of my vintage ones. And so that was originally written as a 5-ply pattern. So we've reworked that into the 8-ply.
Allison, who's watching, is currently making the meringue whip sweater
Oh, neat.
for her soon-to-be 5-year-old granddaughter, and she is lovely making the bauble flowers.
Oh, yes.
Is this meringue whip one of yours?
Yeah, so what happened was that was my first child's design
Ah,
that I
That's so
did
cool.
for my Lisa F range. So that's really cool. And then my
That's pretty
daughter
special.
Amelia is modelling that in the pattern, and she is now 20.
Oh
And I
my.
think when she was wearing it in the photo, she was 3. So that's how long these
Cute.
patterns have been going for.
I do wonder
Oh,
sometimes where you find all the babies for your 'cause-
friends and
She
things.
started
Yeah.
making it originally.
Yeah, but then they grow up,
Yeah,
and
the-
then you have to find more babies.
So I started designing when my children were babies, but didn't. I designed way before that, but when they were babies, I couldn't find anything I liked.
Mhm.
So I just started knitting away, and then some of those patterns have now been made into my range.
Mhm.
But like I first started designing when I was 19. So
That's cool.
I was a knitter, and I knitted through
Mhm.
design school. I studied design in Wellington at Wellington Polytech, which was design school.
Mhm.
Now it's changed to
Something.
else. But anyway, and so
Name
what?
to come.
Again, because it's too early in the morning for me. But yeah, so I started designing. I knitted my way through design school, and then I went and worked for Feltex Yarns, which is Cruchy and Thoroughbred, for 6 weeks as part of my course.
Mhm.
So I was at the factory and seeing how the yarn was made and helping design yarns and colours and sample garments and knitting patterns, and things would come in that weren't right, and I'd chop them up and pull bits out and re-knit bits and all that kind of thing. So that's where my beginning was, and so those vintage patterns that I've got coming out of some from back then. And then I had children, so I was like, well, I want to work from home.
Mhm.
Just designed patterns from what I'd knitted for them, and then it just all developed from there. So that was back before PDF patterns. So I was like, I don't know how I'm going to sell these, but anyway, I'm going to just design them.
Yeah.
And
Because you started off with like a Trade Me thing, right? If I
Yeah.
remember correctly, and you had the printed patterns on Trade Me, and
Yeah.
that's where you were selling them.
Yeah.
So that's where a lot of knitters might have connected with you originally.
yeah, well, like Kathy was way
Yeah.
back then. and so that's been going for a while, and I still sell on Trade Me, but then I have my own website.
Yes.
They're going really well.
And
which is
stockists
great.
all
And
over New Zealand.
Yeah, and lots of stockists in New Zealand and Australia. I've got one, and Boulder, Colorado is another
Boulder,
one.
Colorado, the
Mhm.
expansion begins. We're coming for you.
So yeah, so
We've
we,
got good yarn though.
so that's where it all came. Yeah, it all began, and
Yeah.
it just grew and developed and morphed from there. So
Have you
Fun.
found, going back over your previous designs, because something that I've noticed, and people may disagree, I personally believe that truly good design is timeless.
Mm.
And I really have been appreciating seeing how your designs that are coming out now are really, like the vintage ones that you're re-releasing are popular again. You know,
Yeah.
like they come back to that place, and some of them have actually risen to the point of like being classics.
yes,
Has that been an exciting thing as a designer to see that your previous work still has like such a good foothold today?
oh totally. And when I designed and we photographed back then, so we started off. My husband's a photographer, and I am too.
That's
So-
obvious from the social media. I'm not jealous.
So
I'm a little jealous.
I take like 20 photos to get the one. But anyway, I'm super fussy. But yeah, so all those classic patterns, we worked out that if we photograph in a style that is nature or timeless, we're not going to have technology or anything in it that's going to make our pattern look old and dated.
Mhm.
That's where it came from, and we're trying to keep things kind of, back then was more neutral color palette, because we didn't have our own yarn, that we didn't want to like get too over the top until our yarn developed in at a later stage. So
Yeah,
it's
well,
all been all part of the growth of of
Because
the designing and
You've also made a lot of designs, and while you're making your own yarn now, it's really great to see designs that I would describe as yarn neutral. There's a lot of very yarn forward designs that come out today. Like a lot of designers really focus on the unique characteristics of the yarn they're working with, which can be beautiful, like in pressed flowers and in the tessellated cardigan, like what Emily's making. But your designs are so yarn neutral. Like you can knit, now you should knit them in Vespers and Eternity 4-ply, to be clear. We want to be clear about this. That's what you should be using. But you can knit them in anything and they turn out beautifully.
And that was the plan, because I realized that most people will knit a classic sort of yarn like a 8-ply or a 4-ply. And if I kept my patterns to those, that means that they're versatile patterns that can go across any yarn, and people can pick it up and pick up my pattern and just pick a yarn and find it easily and be able to knit it. So that's where that
Amazing.
came
Well,
from.
let's show a couple more samples and then we'll have to wrap up so we can actually open the shop. Dun, dun, dun.
This is cute.
That's
That
the,
is so
This
cute.
is the
yes, the
how do you
Sebi,
say it?
Sebi sweater and hat.
I need extra arms. So
We're working
cute.
on Emily's arm upgrades.
Yeah.
Dr.
We just-
Octopus has been called.
Oh, I like that pink one.
Yeah, so that is the Delta Cardi with all
Yeah.
our lovely textures.
That's one of our most popular ones in store
And-
for sure.
Yeah.
And we're making an adult sweater
Oh, good. Because
version
people.
of that, but a little bit different.
Oh, sorry. I love a Gansey.
So that's
I'm a
one of my
sucker.
old vintage patterns again, and it's just been released in the last few weeks.
So cute.
I spy mustard.
Yeah, that one is super beautiful.
I love mustard. I'm obsessed. And everyone makes fun of me, and I don't care. I like it.
It's not that we make fun. It's just crazy.
The
Says the
silver,
man knitting an Oliver rib. That's super good.
silver sweater,
Yeah.
just like it playing on all those textures.
Mm.
You and a texture? Never. Not even once.
I'm just creating a mountain of knits. In front.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it won't fall over.
Very
No. This can't end badly.
Now back up on our Eternity. I love it in the
Yeah.
fly.
Super sweet.
Yeah.
So many of these. I'm like, I would wear that. I'm excited for the adult versions. This one is super popular here. This is
Yes, that's the Miller vest and hat.
Yeah, so that's all knitted
So
in one piece,
cute.
which is good for
Yeah.
those who don't want to do seaming.
And then is it a 3-needle bind off at the shoulder?
I put it as a write it as a cast off and sew, but
Perfect.
those who like to do 3-needle bind off can easily just do that.
There you go, kids. You're welcome to do a 3-needle bind
And the
off.
hats,
Mom
most
and
of
mom
my
right off on it.
most of the hats are knitted in both options of the round or on straight needles.
And
That
this
is-
one of your rabbit pom-poms.
Yes.
Lisa's responsible for about a third of the things sold in this shop. Thank
so
God.
this one
That's
has
cute.
got like the candy pop and the primrose
Yeah.
with the
Pink and pink together
Yeah.
forever.
I've got, this is just a test knit to try out the yarn colours, and so I've made a little shoe pattern to go with it, and I'm trying to work out what to do to go with it, maybe invest. But anyway, that's just
So
to show
good.
the colour.
So good. And we do love that so many of your patterns come as a little set, like a hat into something and a booties into something. That's so good because that is by far the most frequent request is, but does this come with a hat? Yes, they almost all come with a hat, everyone. Thank God.
And the building blocks blanket. Now that one just took me probably 3 months to design because I was wanting to do different blocks that all lined up together and
Yeah.
work together in the whole like repeat of the pattern. So
Gorgeous. Yeah,
Worked
that's
out well.
just another knit purl texture little piece of brilliance. There we go.
So a lot of these patterns we already have, and then the newer ones I'm sure
We will be getting. yeah.
So yeah, you can check those out online or in store.
Amazing.
And if there's anything you like that's brand new and you haven't seen yet, those are all waiting for me to finish.
Good.
But I thought I could bring them along
We'll
and
keep the
tease
pressure on her.
everybody to
We will
say,
keep the pressure
things
on
are
her. Don't
cool.
you
I
worry.
like this.
Yeah, that's the
What's
Latvian
Latvian
braid.
braid.
Yeah, that's
I just
very-
love how it tangles the yarn when you do it.
yeah.
Sorry, everyone. Ethan's had a dark time with some Latvian braids. I have a book. I'll show you. It's a whole story. Okay. Well, thank you for bringing all of your wonderful designs. We are going to get this shop opened up because there is a horde of people outside. There's not. Thank you for being with us this
That's
morning.
fun.
And Lisa will be here all day. I will be leaving shortly. Womp womp. And Emily will be here with you as well. So please come hang out and visit and have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.
Bye.